Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to make ambient occlusion in Blender. So without any further ado, let's get started. So ambient occlusion or AO is used to create a soft contact shadows and depth where objects meet. So such as corners, creases, walls, floors, and objects sitting on the surface. For example, right here. So in Blender, especially 2026 or the latest version, the exact AO workflow depends on whether you're using the EV rendering solution or the cycles rendering solution. So I'm going to show you the workflow. So you just need to open a Blender and load your scene. So for this tutorial, a simple test scene works well. So you just need to add a add a floor right here and two cubes that meets each other right here, that like in contact with each other, and also a light right here. So the AO will make the contact area between the cube and the floor darker. So you need to understand what ambient occlusion does. So without the ambient occlusion, like the contact area can look flat. What I mean flat is that there's no there's no not there's nothing. I It's like they're just connected to each other. There's no light, there's no effects that it looks like it's being in contact. It's much like when you touch something, and if you touch something, as you can see, there's a quite a dark area, inside the contact area when you're touching something. There's like, because of the light itself, right? There's some shadows that you can see. Without AO in Blender, it pretty much it looks flat. So it's like you don't touch. It's like the objects does not touch each other. So the darkening around the contact area gives the scene more depth. So AO is especially useful for architecture, alleyways, product renders, character renders, etc. So for me, you need to, it's easy to use EV if you want to use AO, if you want to implement the AO. If you're using EV, the ambient occlusion is particularly useful for real-time or real-time rendering. So in order to do that, you just need to go to the render properties right here. As you can see, like the camera or the the television icon right here. So this is the render properties. You just need to click on it and make sure that your render environment or solution is EV. You can use cycles, but yeah, I recommend EV. So depending on the exact Blender build, the AO related controls may be located under the EV, lighting, and render settings rather than using the cycles. So now you just need to use the ambient occlusion node. So you just need to change your workspace to shading right here. So now you just need to, under the shading properties, you just need to select your objects. Select your objects right here. So after selecting your objects, open your shader editor mode. So click this one, object mode, to shader mode. So actually this is the shader mode. So after you click on it, this will appear. So this is the shader editor. So you should see the principal BSDF and the material output. So right here, you just need to add the ambient occlusion node. So you just need to press A on the shader editor, search for ambient occlusion, this one, ambient occlusion, and just put it right here behind the principal BSDF or the material input. It's up to you. So add the ambient occlusion shader node. So now you should see inputs and outputs related to AO. So the important concept is that the AO node generates information based on how much surrounding geometry is blocking the ambient light. For stylized material, you can use the ambient occlusion to darken the base color. So you can add a node such as multiply right here. Put it behind the ambient occlusion. This one. So change the ambient occlusion. You can change the color. Let's change it to red or purple, and connect it to the multiply right here, and connect the result to the base color to the material color. Let's say it's black. So after connecting, you can just control the AO strength. So the AO node has a distance related setting. So this controls how far Blender looks for nearby geometry. So small distance, it creates a tight AO, and the larger distance, it creates a broader AO. You're doing it with small objects, use a relatively small distance. So if you're having a large environments, increase it appropriately. So don't make AO too dark. So one of the most common mistake is making AO completely black. So yeah, that's it. So I'm just saying it. So you need to avoid the AO looks completely black, because it can make the scene looks dirty and overly contrasted. So instead, use AO as a subtle multiplier. Yeah, that's it. So common AO mistakes: too much AO. If everything is dark, reduce the AO influence, and if, and yeah, that's it. So AO is everywhere. So AO should primarily emphasize areas where geometry is close together. So don't as I'm doing, don't use this. So you just need to choose or pick the sides where you want to AO be where the geometry is close together. So only add an AO to those locations. So just need to use AO to replace lighting. So that's a common mistake too. So AO does not replace the key lighting, fill lighting, sun lighting, etc. like that. Use it only as a supporting effect. So that's it. So recommended stylized AO workflow. As I said, make a model, make it materials. After that, just add the lighting, just add the ambient occlusion. Uh, just manage the color, render, and that's it. So make sure that to set the engine or render environment to EV, create your material, add an ambient occlusion node in the shader editor, add a mix color node, set it to multiply, connect your base color in AO, connect the result to the principled BSDF, adjust the AO distance influence, then render. So if that's it. And if you want to use cycles physically based lighting for natural contact shadows, and use the AO node primarily when you want an artistic or stylized AO effect. Yes, that's it. So the best practice. Yes, that's it. So another best practice: only use AO to add a subtle contact depth while letting your actual lighting create the major shadows. So this gives you a clearer and more professional, render. And yeah, that's it. That's how you can create or use ambient occlusion in Blender. And also, that's it for today's tutorial. If you want more, please like and subscribe to our channel, and see you in the next one.